You're an introverted business owner, but you have shied away from starting a YouTube channel for years because you're so shy. I'm also introverted, and I want to let you know that if you're not seen, your business is not going to flourish. So this video is all about starting a YouTube channel as an introverted business owner and how you can actually do it. Hi, my name is Nachole Johnson with Amplify Your Brand, where I help business owners amplify their brand through writing their own books so they can be seen as the experts they truly are and getting out and getting themselves out on YouTube. So as one of the most introverted introverts, as an INTJ, I spent years behind the camera, literally not showing my face, not doing any type of video, not doing anything simply because I was so shy. Over the years, I've learned that YouTube is a wonderful asset for business owners, extroverted and introverted alike, and it will help them actually grow in so many ways that you would never even believe, especially if you're introverted. And you know what? I started my YouTube channel and it's not perfect by any means, but my businesses have flourished because of it. But it was only possible because I took a leap of faith and I started my YouTube channel. So I want to help you start your YouTube channel and get seen. So go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe if you're an introvert and you want to know how to start your own YouTube channel. Let's start mapping out an action plan for you to get started on your channel today. I'm going to cover a 5-part strategy to help you get started on YouTube. And actually, I have a bonus one at the very end. So be sure to stay tuned to the end of the video so you can see it. So number 1 is knowing your reason. Number 2, choosing your video topics. Number 3, setting up your studio. Number 4, filming your first video and editing your first video. 5 is creating your thumbnails. And number 6 we'll get into after number 5. So grab a notebook and write down all these action steps that I have for you during the video. All right, let's go ahead and start with number 1. Number 1 is knowing your reason of why you want to start a YouTube channel, and especially starting a YouTube channel as an introverted business owner. So one of the obvious reasons is so you can actually be seen. Obviously, if you aren't seen and you're not marketing for your business is not going to thrive and it's not going to flourish, and then eventually things will start to dry up. So getting out there, putting yourself out there on camera will help you do this. People watch your videos so they can get to know, like, and trust you, and then they will eventually come to you and use you for whatever business services you have. So you want to know your reason when you're coming into YouTube as a business owner. So obviously, more than likely, that's going to be for more visibility. Another thing that you can think of that's not necessarily related to business is that you are building up confidence. So like I said, as an introvert, I was not very confident on camera, was not very confident with public speaking. I've still not spoken to a crowd of people, but in a sense, having a YouTube channel is like public speaking because you are speaking to many people who are watching your videos. The thing about it is that my confidence has grown, and you as a business owner, if you have trouble speaking in front of the camera or speaking to multiple people or things like that, having a YouTube channel can actually build up your confidence. So I've had my YouTube channel for a little over a year, and I have noticed a tremendous difference from my very first video to my current videos. Like I said, I'm no expert, I'm not perfect, but things have gotten much better for me. And I'm much more confident in the way I hold and carry myself, especially with business conversations and speaking about what I know best. So that could be another reason for you to start your YouTube channel. So think outside of the box when you're trying to figure out what your exact reason is for starting your channel. Understanding the purpose of starting your YouTube channel is going to keep you motivated when times get tough. I'll admit that it has been tough for me, especially in the beginning, trying to figure out what exactly I was supposed to be doing, how I was supposed to record my videos, how they were supposed to be edited. It could be all very overwhelming for someone who is just starting out. But if you know your reasons, you can look back and say, I am starting this YouTube channel because I want more brand awareness. I want people to know about my business. I want to build my public speaking confidence. Whatever your reason is, this will help keep you motivated when times get tough. So whether or not you're an extroverted entrepreneur or an introverted entrepreneur, don't underestimate the possibilities of what a YouTube channel can do for your business. Just remember that patience is key. It does take time to build up your YouTube channel, but persistence and patience will pay off in the end. Your action steps for this step is to list all the reasons that you want to start a YouTube channel for your business. And this can be personal things too. So you wanted to start a YouTube channel to leave a legacy so your kids can see you one day on YouTube and see that moment of time in your life. It can most definitely be something like that. So list at least 25 different reasons why you want to start a YouTube channel. So we're going to move on to the next one. The next one is choosing your video topics. If you're looking to YouTube to boost your business, one thing that you could potentially talk about is obviously your products and services that you offer. So not in a salesy type of way, but you can most definitely demonstrate your expert status on whatever it is that you do. So if you're an expert basket weaver, for example, you can do a tutorial on how to make a simple basket. And this is going to demonstrate your expertise on the subject, and this is going to bring in people who want to learn how to do what you're doing and maybe learn a new technique. So just get creative with the type of videos that you're going to come up with for your channel. Show how your products and services can benefit the viewer in the long run. Another thing is you can show a behind the scenes of your business. So if you have a type of business where you're doing a lot of production on something, or maybe you have an office outside of your home, you have a warehouse, you're transporting things, whatever the case may be, you can most definitely do a behind the scenes type of video for your business to showcase and show other people what you do. You could also offer educational topics and position yourself as a thought leader in your industry. So basically what I'm doing, I'm just sitting here and talking to you. I don't have anything to show you. I don't have any products per se that I can show you on camera and how I'm making things, but I'm just sitting here talking to you just like you were right here in front of me. You can do the same thing with your channel, but on the topics that relate to your business. Okay, so the action step for this step is to actually list about 10 to 25 topics on things that you can actually do videos about. The more you have, the easier it's going to be, so that way you don't have to think up a new topic every time you're ready to start a video. So I would try to make the list as long as you possibly can. Go ahead and write out a list to see, what topics you can do. And another thing that you can do is actually you can check out competitors on YouTube and kind of see what they're doing. If they're in a similar industry, check out to see what kind of topics they're talking about. It doesn't necessarily have to be all about your specific industry. It can actually be something that expands a little bit, so you can talk about other things that are related to your industry. An example of this is that I talk about writing books. So another subject that I could potentially talk about on my channel is not just writing a book, but actually reading a book that I've read, and I can do a review on that book for my viewers. So think about other things that you can talk about and make a list of about 10 to 25 topics of videos that you can talk about on your YouTube channel. Okay, part 3 is actually setting up your home studio. I know this may be overwhelming for a lot of people because you're thinking, oh my goodness, I don't have all that fancy equipment. I don't have a green screen. I don't have a fancy camera. I don't have any of that, but it really does not have to be anything elaborate. A lot of people, including myself, film on their phones, and the smartphones today are completely capable of filming and recording a great video that you can upload to YouTube and make your YouTube videos with. So you don't need anything super fancy. Also, your computer has a camera that you can actually record on too. So I alternate between my camera, I alternate between my phone and my computer, my webcam on my laptop or my desktop. So those are options for you if you don't have a standalone camera at this point. As far as lighting is concerned, you can pick up a tripod that has a ring light attached to it from Amazon for less than 40 bucks actually. It's not going to be anything that needs to be super fancy. You can start with that, or if you have an area in your home that has a lot of natural light, open up your windows and make sure that you're recording when the sunlight is at its peak. You don't have to be fancy. When I very first started my YouTube channel, I actually stacked up a bunch of textbooks on a table and put my laptop in front of me, and that's how I recorded my first videos. They're not fancy, but I got the job done by utilizing what kind of equipment I had around the house. So you can most definitely do that. No one's going to judge you. Remember, the most important thing is passion and personality. People are going to remember you as a person versus how you've recorded your videos. And eventually, everything's going to get better. You're going to get better at recording videos. You're going to get better at everything. So just don't be too hard on yourself. Just make sure that you're providing a lot of value for your audience, and then they'll come back and watch you more. Okay, so your action steps for this is to find a couple places around your house to shoot your videos. So that means finding places with a lot of natural light if you don't have any lighting set up already, or making sure that you clear an area that would be a perfect spot for you. So basically, I film in my office, but sometimes I film in other places, just wherever I can get good natural light and make sure that people can see me. Another thing that you want to look out for is making sure that your area that you're going to be filming in, it's not cluttered, okay? So depending on where you're at, obviously you can make some changes, but just making sure that your background is clear. So my background, I have a plant, I have pictures, and then yes, on this background here, on this side, I have a light switch. I can't help that, but I'm making sure that my head is covering the light switch because that would be a little bit distracting. Okay, part number 4 is recording and editing your first video. Okay, part number 4 is filming and editing your first video. So I want you to remember, as an introverted business owner, that everything is editable, meaning that if you stumble on some words, if you have your child walk in, or a dog is barking, or the lawn guy is outside, it's editable. Okay, so I don't want you to get too hung up on things not being perfect and all these things on the outside that are making noise, and maybe I stumbled over my word. I don't want you to get hung up on that, because that's not important, because you can always edit it out, okay? One tip that I do have for eliminating some of your nerves when you're filming your first video is making sure that you've written out a light outline of a script, okay? A lot of people come onto YouTube and they wing it, and they may be great. Maybe they had a background in journalism or something like that. But for the majority of us, we can't wing it. And it's nice to have some type of script, not a very detailed script, but something that you can actually look at and you can see, okay, I want to hit on this point, I want to hit on that point, something to where you're not going to forget your lines. You're not going to forget the important tips and important topics that you wanted to discuss. And this also helps keep you from rambling. If you don't have a script and you have a general idea of what you want to talk about, but then you start forgetting things, you'll start to ramble, and it's going to take longer for you to do your editing simply because you have all this unnecessary footage. Okay, moving on to the editing portion of your videos. Editing does sound intimidating. It was very intimidating for me for many months. I actually had a video editor do things for me, but then I decided one day I was going to learn the basics of editing. It's very important for you to learn the basics of editing for a couple of different reasons. For one, you will be able to communicate better with your editors once you do hire an editor again later on down the line, simply because you kind of know a little bit. So you're not an expert, but you know a little bit about the editing process. So you can kind of guide them and give them directions on what you want. The second thing is that we live in the digital age and things are happening rapidly. So things are constantly updating. There's constantly something going on, and you want to be able to stay on top of the trends in your industry, and you want to be able to get a video up as quickly as possible because you don't want to miss out on that particular trend. So that was my big push for me, to take it upon myself to learn how to do some basic editing, because something really big had came out and I had a video for it, but it took my editor about 3 or 4 days to actually get everything edited. And then by the time my video was published on YouTube, I had lost the traction that I potentially would have had I had that video published the day it happened. So I don't want you to be stuck in the same situation. Editing, you're going to have to find a software that you're comfortable with. So I have a Mac and I use iMovie. It was simple. It came with my Mac, and I've picked up on it simply by watching a few YouTube videos over the course of a weekend. I knew the basics of getting my first video out that I had actually edited. And, you know, over the months, I've gotten a little bit better. But the thing about it is, it does not have to be perfect. You're going to save yourself so much time and money when you actually do pick up the editing yourself. And I say time simply because, like I said, if you have something viral going on, you want to make sure that video is up. Money, that's the obvious thing. You're not paying any editors at first when you start out to get your videos edited. So go ahead and pick an editing software. And I did look at a couple different softwares before I stuck with iMovie. I looked at Descript. Descript is a very beginner-friendly software that you can use. And I also looked at DaVinci Resolve. For some reason, I just could not get with DaVinci Resolve. And then with Descript, I couldn't figure out how to put the audio and stuff in. It's easy, but for me, it wasn't easy. But it was really easy for me when I got on YouTube and I started looking at all the videos that they have on iMovie. So if you have a PC, you're going to have to find an alternative, but it really is not that difficult for you to pick up the basics so you can just get started. And the types of videos you're going to be making as a business owner, more than likely, is you just sitting in the chair, looking at the camera, just like I'm doing right now and speaking. So there aren't going to be any heavy edits per se that you really need to pick up on editing your own videos at first. Okay, so the action step for this step is for you to actually look around at some software. So if you have a Mac, check out iMovie. If you have a PC, look at something different like DaVinci Resolve or Adobe Premiere or whatever, and pick a software and start actually doing some tutorials on YouTube so you can pick up the basics. So that way you know how to edit things out and get your videos up on YouTube. Part 5 of starting your own YouTube channel as an introvert is obviously you've got the videos done, you've got the editing done, so now we need to create a thumbnail. Thumbnails are very important because thumbnails allow people to see what your video is about before they click on it. It's very important. You want to catch people's attention, catch their eye while they're scrolling down their screen so they will click on your video and watch it. So the easiest way to create thumbnails is in a software called Canva. I love Canva. They have a free version and they also have a paid version. I've upgraded to the paid version because, for one, it's not that much and I get to do a whole lot more with the paid version. But you can start out for free on Canva making your thumbnails. You just want to make sure that your thumbnails stick out, making sure that you're not repeating your title of your video on your thumbnail simply because you want to be able to have people read your thumbnails. And if you have a long title, you put that long title on your thumbnail, people aren't going to be able to read it from a distance. And for 2, they're not going to be able to read it on their smartphone because that's what a majority of people are looking at YouTube on, is their smartphone. So you want to stick with about 3 to 5 words on your thumbnail and make it bold, make it fit in with your brand colors, and make it stand out. All right, so the action step for this step is for you to actually get onto Canva and start playing around with the thumbnails and seeing if you like the software. There are many other softwares that you can most definitely use. So if you are Photoshop Pro or anything else like that, by all means, go to Photoshop and start playing around with that. But a majority of people are probably going to want to gravitate to something easier. So you can go to Canva. Anyone can pick up Canva. Very, very simple to use. Action step number 2 is actually doing some research on your competitors and actually other people's thumbnails. It doesn't even have to be a competitor. So just scroll through your home screen on YouTube and look at the thumbnails that stand out to you. Which thumbnails catch your attention? So this way you can emulate those type of thumbnails with the bold text, the colors, the placement, and everything like that. So that way when you actually record your video, upload it on YouTube, and put your thumbnail up there, that your videos are going to get good click-through rates simply because you have good thumbnails. Whoa, that was a lot. I literally just walked you through the 5 steps of starting a YouTube channel as an introverted business owner. So I did tell you at the beginning that I actually had a bonus step, and I'll get into that right now. So bonus step number 6 is to actually stay consistent. I know you've probably heard this multiple times about multiple things in your life, but the same rings true for YouTube. There was a point where I was not consistent at all. And actually, it was probably during the time where I needed to be the most consistent. It was during the pandemic at the peak in 2020. So when you are on YouTube and you are trying to build a following for your brand, for your business, people want to see you. So it's not going to work for you to post a video 1 month, skip 3 months, post another video, skip a month, post another video. You've got to stay consistent. So trying to post consistently and posting consistently will actually help grow your YouTube channel faster. So what I suggest is once a week. Once a week is really not that much of a commitment, and you can batch record your 4 videos. You can edit your 4 videos all at the same time and then schedule them out for an entire month. Just try to stay as consistent as possible, because if you have great content, people are going to be looking to you and looking at your channel, looking at like, well, where are you? I want more. I want to hear more from this person. And it's going to be a complete turnoff if they go back to your channel and they see that you haven't posted anything for 3 months. So my last tip for you is to be consistent. The action step for this step is to actually go back to the prior step of you actually picking your topics for your YouTube channel. Like I said, the more topics that you have, the easier it's going to be for you to record these videos, and you're not going to have to think up ideas. At that point, you have your topic list, and then you batch 3 or 4 of them together, record them all on the same day, so that way you can remain consistent. All right, that is what I have for this video. If you like this video, please subscribe. Please share this channel with other people. I'm going to see you on the next video. And I want to know, let me know in the comments, please. Has this helped you with you actually getting started on your own YouTube channel? And I'll see you in the next video.